Hi there, I'm back again with another video in the Colour Me Safe series, and today I'm going to be talking about staying safe whilst flirting. And before I start with that, I'd just like to give you a little bit of a heads up about my Flirting for Connoisseurs free ebook that's available on the website below if you want to go and pick that up. There are a couple of other free books on there as well, so you might want to have a look at those as well whilst you're on the site. And do feel free to share this video with anybody else who you think might be interested in that as well. And also to subscribe if you want to before you go. And when you subscribe, there's a little bell underneath there, and you can just click on the bell if you want to receive some notifications in the future of any more videos that may be coming up. So today, let's talk about flirting and staying safe. And in a lot of these videos, I mentioned the issue of the beginning of a relationship actually being an important point to zero in on, because in the beginning, and you might have found this in your relationships, if you think back over your relationship history, you may have found that in the beginning, even in the initial meeting or when you first saw the person, that actually you were given there a lot of information about what was to happen in the future when you carried on with that relationship with that person. And that's because we can often pick up an awful lot of information about someone in the first meeting. But what we don't do sometimes is we don't actually pick up on it seriously. We may on some level acknowledge that a person is a certain way, but quite often, more often than not, we may push that awareness out of the way because we're focused on finding out whether we like this person or not and how we're coming across. And that's quite a no-no really in the beginning, because in the beginning it's a phase when we've got the opportunity to find out about someone, possibly in the initial meeting. And if our consciousness is taken up with worrying about how we're coming across, then we may not be focused and we may not be aware of some of the red flags that can occur. And it's actually happening before our very eyes. And this is a really interesting concept, because I think it leads many of us down a dark alley as far as our relationships are concerned. And as I said, often it's not until, in retrospect, we've looked back and we've realised, oh yeah, I saw that aspect of their character in the first meeting. But what can happen is that we do not identify certain things as being important keys, and then we sweep them under the rug and we carry on, sometimes blindly, not recognizing that we're being shown the very things that may stop us going down the wrong path further on down the line when we're actually in a relationship with someone, which is far harder to get out of them than in the initial stages. And how many people have you met who have said, well, you know what, if I knew what they were like months ahead or years ahead, I would never have gone into a relationship with them. But what I'm going to speak about today is the issue of us actually knowing what the other person is like, but not picking up on it seriously enough. And in the flirting stage, This can be an important time as well as far as our safety is concerned, because if we go into any situation with a safety mindset, with a confident mindset, and with our safe relationship training toolbox with us, which is our set of skills that we've built up over the years to keep us safe, then when we're in the flirting situation, we can use that situation in order to make a wise decision regarding this person. Because if we're too focused on us flirting and impressing the other person, then we may not actually pay attention to some of the issues that are being shown to us whilst we're flirting. So we get some really strong signals given to us spiritually when we first meet someone. But as I said, a lot of people do not pick up on these spiritual signals early on because they're too bothered with trying to impress the other person to worry about whether they are a safe person or not. So that initial meeting and maybe the couple afterwards, a really important time there when we're not only flirting, but we're flirting safely. In other words, we're using that opportunity to key in spiritually to who that person is, to listen to our intuition, and actually not flirt in a way that is going to place us in danger, such as making promises to a complete stranger that we've only just met, or leading someone astray who we think may be a bit shady and maybe even a bit dangerous, so that we do so in a really safe manner. And I hope my book has highlighted that to a degree as well, that it's about having fun, but let's do so in a really, really safe manner and not allow ourselves to be carried away with the flirting dynamic to where we're actually sort of all at sea and we don't really key into our own intuition. We're not listening to our internal warning system, but rather we're getting carried away with the flirting dynamic, which may carry us away to an abusive relationship down the line. Hopefully not. But that was my message today, was to say that we remain safe. We remain safe even in the flirting stage. And we don't make too many rash decisions because we're caught up in all the flirting dynamics, which can be very good for our ego. But it's also an opportunity, is what I wanted to say, for us to take serious note of what we may be being shown about the other person. So as always, stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.